this is Sheila. I'm still at Clare and I've come to visit the Priory. Apparently some of the buildings are still in use by monks. It's founded in about 1243. It was suppressed in 15 something by Henry VIII, and then it was renovated or repaired in 1953, believe it or not. So we're allowed to explore the grounds and the actual church, but the Priory, I mean I don't know if that's a church, is out of bounds. So I presume this is the Priory. I wonder if this is the church. It's all part of our medieval history, this. This is why I'm doing these little snapshots. This is all part of our history. It's part of everyone's English heritage, really. But we've got a strong connection because of our Clare family. That looks very Eastern, doesn't it? That rooftop with the ball on top and the curves. Looks very Eastern, that does. Nice and peaceful, isn't it? I expect that used to be a fountain or something once. Something mentioned over here. Site of calfactory and stair to dormer, I suppose that might be, to cloister and church ruins. Well, that cloister unearthed 14th century. Well, that's still used as a priory, that is. Nice and pink, isn't it? So that people still live in there. I don't really know where I'm going. It's all sort of ad lib, really, as I go. They've thought about people with wheelchairs. There's a couple of ramps about, which is nice to see. Site of Lady Chapel, 1361. So this could actually be the site of the church here, I thought. Piscina for altar in nave. Yeah, so the church would have been here on this structure, wouldn't it? For those just joining, this is Clare Priory. Pray for the ancestors and relatives of King Richard III and Queen Anne Neville, buried at Clare Priory. Joan of Arc, Countess of Gloucester and Hereford, died 1307. Edward Baron Monthermere, 1303 to 1340. Elizabeth de Burgh, Duchess of Clarence and Countess of Ulster, 1332 to 1363. Now we've got to be careful that we don't get muddled up because there's two Elizabeth de Burghs. One was Elizabeth de Clare and then became de Burgh. Then we've got Lionel of Antwerp, Duke of Clarence and Earl of Ulster. Edmund Mortimer, Earl of March. Lady Margaret Neville, she died in 1463. This is the Richard III Society, 2002. Right, I said a prayer. I'm saying prayers all the time for my Clare ancestors. Here in 1307 was buried Joan of Arc, Countess of Gloucester, daughter of Edward I and Eleanor of Castile. Not Joan of Arc, Joan of Acre, I should say. That could easily be misinterpreted. Joan of Acre or Acre. In the plot nearby are buried Lionel, Duke of Clarence, son of Edward III and Philippa of Hainault, who died in 1368, and Elizabeth, his wife, the great-granddaughter of Joan of Acre, who died in 1363. So if this was the church, they've been buried somewhere here. What's that say? Sevilla, 14th century. So that's all part of the church, isn't it? This could be the altar. Isn't it, this big here, this big bit here? But why haven't they got it marked? Now the church was here. Look, there's the steps leading up. I would have thought that was the altar myself. So my de Clare family, see, would have been praying in this church when it was there. I'm glad I never missed this. I have done thorough exploration of the grounds as well, to make sure I get a feel of the place properly. And the monks still live and pray here, and they probably walk around these grounds a lot. I'd never seen a monk really. I wonder if there's any ghosts here. Bet there are. Little orchard this is, look, little apple trees. They make their cider and their mead. Yeah, it's very peaceful, isn't it? Put me tent up here. Lovely, isn't it? Nice and peaceful. I got to be allowed. I got ancestry from here. This is my land, this is. Richard, wherever you are. My great-grandfather going back in time. Belongs to me. The thing is, people look at you as if you're mad when you tell them things like that. It's not, that's the trouble, but it's true, I'm afraid. We are connected. How the other half live. I mean, all these people in retirement are going off on their walks and flash cars, and they've got all the walking gear. And they can do this all the time. Well, I would do it all the time if I lived up here, because I'd come on my bike. I mean, the other day I was a bit miserable and I felt like going home. Well, I'm glad I didn't, because there's so much here. It makes me want to come back up here again. Oh, it really does. I feel so much healthier up here. A little bit wheezy. Alright, there's the monastery, I suppose. Was the Priory, where the monks live. That is. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going. I've got no map. I'm just sort of wandering about. There's obviously you can obviously park here as well. I wonder if that building was set on the site of the church. It could have been. That could have been built on site of the church, couldn't it? Could do the map really, just to know where you're going. Well, I don't know what's what, do I? How do I know where you're allowed to go? I don't know. No one has said where you're allowed to go. I don't know if this is private or what.